Well, May is Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month and a time to celebrate the cultures, contributions, and communities that help shape Michigan and the country. This year's national theme is Power and Unity, strengthening communities together. Now, joining me live this morning is Dr. Stephanie Tong from Wayne State University to talk about the importance of building connections and a better understanding of the AAPI communities. Well, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Now, just to get this started, can you just explain what this month represents?
Yeah, I think AAPI Heritage Month is a really great time to remind ourselves of the strengths of the AAPI communities, contributions to society through culture and art and science and music and food, definitely food. And so we're so lucky to be able to recognize the diversity and the richness of our communities.
Definitely food. I feel like food carries culture for a lot of us, especially myself. So this year's theme for the month is Power and Unity. What exactly does that mean to you?
I think it's about building bridges. And I think bridges represent a lot of the values that are in AAPI communities, innovation, resilience, hard work, connection, a sense of belonging. And that can be within the community internally, but also externally, how we build out our kind of our social networks.
Absolutely. Now, I know you've talked about bonding, you talked about communities and kind of bridging that gap across different groups, but what exactly is the difference? Why do both of them matter?
I think that both really matter to strengthening, right, across and within. So we talk about bridges internally, and that's kind of our bonding social capital and strengthening bonds within communities. And then bridging social capital is kind of making sure that we're extending outwards and really inviting other people into those communities to experience them and feel like it's not a familiar and strange place. It's really a welcoming space.
Now, speaking of being welcoming, where exactly are the communities growing with AAPI communities right here in Michigan?
Yeah, there's a really sizable Asian American population across Michigan. It's a really a kind of a bunch of smaller, diverse subcommunities, and that speaks to the difficulty, I think, of labeling everything and everyone as Asian. But we've got across the Metro Detroit areas, Oakland, Wayne, Macomb counties, Washtenaw and Kent counties, and so within these pockets, you can really plug into different facets of the culture.
Absolutely, and I know it's important to acknowledge the history here in Michigan specifically, and in Detroit, and just in the vicinity in general. Can you kind of tell us about what are people doing to get involved in those communities? Is there, cultural events? Is there food events? Like, can I speak to that for me?
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways. Speaking of building bridges into AAPI communities, there's lots of ways in. I know it can feel maybe intimidating or difficult to know where to start. So, a couple of really great area events. The Detroit Institute of Arts, the DIA, is holding events all month long, artists, craft workshops, live music. So that's a great resource. The Midwest Buddhist Meditation Center in Warren is holding a lot of open events. And then I know in the Grand Rapids area, there's the Asian American Pacific Festival. It's not till June, but I think that gives people lots of time to plan.
Gives you time to plan, and the weather will be just really nice, so that's always great. So, what do you hope that people take away from the AAPI Heritage Month this year? What's your big takeaway?
I really hope that we are building bridges. I hope that we're understanding the strengths of our communities, that we can be working together and celebrate that diversity and that richness. And also to remember kind of just Michigan's unique kind of standpoint within the larger trajectory of the AAPI socio-political movement. Everything from being a really just wonderful and diverse place to be, to kind of the flashpoint of the Vincent Chin event, and that really holds a special and unique place and legacy within the AAPI history.
Absolutely. Well, Dr. Tong from Wayne State, thank you so much for joining us and taking the time to speak with us this morning.
Thank you so much.